O Namo Manju Shiri Ye, Namo So Shiri Ye, Namo O Namo Shiri Soha, O Namo Manju Shiri Ye, Namo So Shiri Ye, Namo O Namo Shiri Soha. 觉当作业从哪来？讲究满足那些教授些，大概去年给别从哪里？多拉很介上的主吧说。觉当作业从哪来？讲究满足那些教授些，大概去年给别从哪里？多拉很介上的主吧说。觉当作业从哪来？讲究满足那些教授些，大概去年给别从哪里？多拉边界上的主把手，他心根据修行没多长，是让你心里点点把的，当天心都没变化，当心了就把手，一当古州的那门那拉康尼亚他要比。
마시 보라 저기 무척은 진짜 만나 대화인데 대만도 그거 지금 그만 가시 이가 피지죠 이제 만나 대화다 대인적이와 피지도 받아 되는 또 대바 주지 대바 다시 이다시니 말아말아 신진도 있어
Please adjust your sitting posture according to 7 meditative postures of our channel. And think, all sentient beings have been my mothers. All sentient beings have been my mothers not just once, but for numberless times. They are as kind as my mothers of this life. Even though all kind mother sentient beings want happiness and do not want even a small suffering, however, due to engaging wrongly in objects of adoptions and abandonment, they do not experience happiness but suffering. In our mind, sincerely generate loving kindness towards all kind mother sentient beings, thinking, how nice it would be if all kind mother sentient beings had excellent happiness. May all kind mother sentient beings have excellent happiness. Or cause all kind mother sentient beings to experience excellent happiness. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so.
대제 동아지네 대제 만드는 비진내는 전 중앙시 해발로서 비진 기부 가도 전에 좀 직직과 다른 샤워 대신 권다마라 신기도 있어
Next, we generate compassion towards all suffering mother sentient beings, thinking, how nice it would be if the bodies of all suffering mother sentient beings were free from the class discordant with accomplishing virtue, such as physical pain, sickness, and problems caused by 4 elements. May the bodies of all suffering mother sentient beings be free from the class discordant with accomplishing virtue. I will free the bodies of all suffering mother sentient beings from the class discordant with accomplishing virtue. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so.
만드는 비도 비도 되는 나도 사람이 그것도 뭐 지지 저 나도 좀 되는 거라면 신기도 있어 무슨 얘기지 정말
How nice it would be if the minds of all suffering mother sentient beings were free from the class discordant with accomplishing virtue, such as mental suffering, fear, coarse and subtle discursive thoughts. May the minds of all suffering mother sentient beings be free from the class discordant with accomplishing virtue. Or free the minds of all suffering mother sentient beings from the class discordant with accomplishing virtue. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so. How nice it would be if the speech of all suffering mother sentient beings were free from the class, discordant with accomplishing virtue, coarse and subtle negative speech such as telling lies. May the speech of all suffering mother sentient beings be free from the class, discordant with accomplishing virtue. I will free the speech of all suffering mother sentient beings from the class, discordant with accomplishing virtue. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so. How nice it would be if the three doors of all suffering mother sentient beings were free from the class, discordant with accomplishing virtue. May the three doors of all suffering mother sentient beings be free from the class, discordant with accomplishing virtue. I'll free the three doors of all suffering mother sentient beings from the class, discordant with accomplishing virtue. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so. How nice it would be if all sentient beings were free from suffering and the causes of suffering, which are non-virtue. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. I'll free all sentient beings from suffering and the causes of suffering. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so. As we generate bodhicitta, first we ask ourselves, who should take on the responsibility to free all mother sentient beings from the sufferings of samsara and lower realms? I should take on the responsibility to free all mother sentient beings from the sufferings of samsara and of lower realms. However, I do not have the abilities to do so now. Who has the abilities? Those who have achieved the perfectly complete enlightenment with the abilities to do so. Therefore, for the sake of all mother sentient beings, by all means, I will achieve the state of enlightenment.
이제 이제 통일된 성질이 공부도 뭐 샤워 maybe 세군자 같으니 나그니가 대지고 호스도 남바지도 저다지로 이제 뭐 동방이나 무슨 뭐 되지 다음에 전체적으로 나그니가 대지 도지고 세군 남바지도 그래서 그래서 이제 모두 그 시티에서
Next, we generate all-encompassing yoga mind, the aspiring conventional bodhicitta that thinks, for the sake of all mother sentient beings, I will achieve the state of enlightenment. These transform into a complete mundis at one's heart. And the ultimate bodhicitta, there is one's mind becoming in one taste with emptiness, the lack of inherent existence, that transform into a white 5-pronged vajra on top of the mundis.
Hence,
we meditate on emptiness for a short while, that I exist neither inherently one with, nor inherently different from the aggregates. Thus, I am empty of inherent existence.
이제서 와서 너지 따버리 시키는 것이 무슨 얘기 있어와 간 사바이나 그래서 포지티브 분야에 있는 거 계신 것보다 학교에서 뭐지 무엇은 다시 그러면서 지진이 내사고서 집안에 예수님 대진 경우다 왜 그거 이치도 사회 다시 아버지의 주도바이나 내사고서 집에 계좌 대신 포지션이 안에 있는 거예요.
And as I say, whenever we do virtue with our three doors, it's very important to conjoin it with the practice of 6 actions. The first one is generosity. The nature of generosity is the intentions of giving. So these 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and contemplation and meditation on Dharma is for the sake of pacifying the sufferings of sentient beings, and for the sake of and for the arising of happiness of all sentient beings.
대지에서 본다. 수지 것이냐는데 수지서는 그 보이스 뭐 특히 원수 뭐 것이 내사고서 그 제비값을 예 이거 내지에도 맞고 이거 내지에 뭐 지금 보면은 내사고서 제바이나 내사고서 집에 계좌대 그 수지 것이냐 했어요.
Next is morality. The nature of morality is a mind of abandonment. So during these 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on Dharma, I will fully abandon my physical and verbal misdeeds so that they do not manifest. Next is patience. The nature of patience is an undisturbed mind. So during these 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on Dharma, I will patiently accepting any physical or mental hardships. Next is joyous effort. The nature of joyous effort is a mind that delights in virtue, that takes delight in virtue. So during these 2 hours, I will take delight in the virtue of listening, meditating, and contemplating about Dharma. Next is meditative concentration. Meditative concentration is a mind that single-pointedly focuses on any virtuous object. So during these 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on Dharma, I will single-pointedly focus my mind on the virtuous object and not influenced by the discursive thoughts and distractions. And next one, and the last one is wisdom. Wisdom is an awareness that thoroughly distinguishes phenomena. So during these 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on Dharma, I will properly understand the words and meanings of the teachings. Set a good motivation. For the sake of all mother sentient beings, I will achieve the state of enlightenment. For this purpose, I will listen to the holy teachings and practice accordingly in order to benefit sentient beings.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not having to go there, so I'm going to do my work ready. More logical because what?
Ito sumba.
What the no? Because so much
So here we are at the middle way school, Madhyamaka. So, and we are going to talk about Svatantika Madhyamaka, which is one of the divisions of Madhyamaka. So, and Madhyamaka is the 4th school. So for the sake of the oral transmission, so I read all of it. So the systems of the proponents of entityness is explained by way of divisions, and the meaning of each division. The first one is definition. The definitions of the proponents of non-entityness is a person who propounds Mahayana tenets and does not assert real true existence, even nominally. Divisions, there are 2 divisions, Svatantika and Prasangika. Meaning of each division, the explanations of the Svatantika and Prasangika systems. So even though there are 2 divisions of Madhyamaka, which are Svatantika and Prasangika, so they call Svatantika Madhyamaka and Prasangika Madhyamaka. So even though there are 2 divisions, however, these definitions the definitions of proponents of non-entityness pervades these two divisions. So the definitions of proponents of non-entityness, as I mentioned, is a person who propounds Mahayana tenets and does not assert real true existence, even nominally. So this is the general explanations of Madhyamaka. So these definitions of a proponents of non-entityness, there are two parts. One is a person who propounds Mahayana tenets, and also who does not assert true existence, even nominally. So this is there are two parts in the definitions of a proponents of non-entityness. So since it is a general definition for a proponents of non-entityness, so it says it does not assert true existence, even nominally. So this is commonly asserted by Svadantika Madhyamaka and Prasangika Madhyamaka as well. So if we were to say that person who propounds Mahayana tenets and does not assert inherent existence or intrinsic existence, So if we were to say that someone who does not assert inherent existence or existence from its own side, then it will only be this is only asserted by Prasangika Madhyamaka. So it would not become general definitions of a proponent of non-entityness.
Oh, this is that. And the
So in general, Mahayana, in particular, the one who revive or restore the traditions of opponents of who revives the system of opponents of non-entityness is Protector Nagarjuna. Protector Nagarjuna is the one that who restore in general the Mahayana, and in particular who restore the systems of proponents of Mahayana. Opponents of non-entityness. So is Protector Nagarjuna. So in general, we talk about two trailblazers or two pioneers. So one of it is Protector Nagarjuna, who revived the traditions of Madhyamaka, and Asanga is the one who revived the traditions or systems of Chittamatra.
Oh, okay. On the Hindi song, there was a Nandi. This is on this water. You know, Shenda and Dr. People finish the other one. You did it about in this and the rest of one. Young was a Shenda Cindy on this person. It's a Ramish is shut on your Hinata. We are sitting with the Russian Chili for Gumba, but the power committee. 我的跑通明，你说你是吧？那今天说结当的嘛，就我们自己学的嘛。
你也是一路了咯，这也是一路了，那
这种我情况对，你说你的表达意思，也是做的，对，我们的通明，我是对哪里哪是哪里我嘛，这哪里我的，也还有我是哪里来有的，哪里是给我是忙不了的，我也没听过来。你这一说了看起，你对吧？现在情况都是在透明的，就哪说是哪是哪里，我嘛其实，这我当然也是，是吧？我这一说了看起，你对吧？现在情况都是在透明的，就哪说是呢？我现在情况都是在透明的，就哪说是，说这个一点点什么？
So even though there are different ways of asserting the trailblazers, however, in general, we talk about the two trailblazers referred to Nagarjuna and Sangha. And this is ascertained by Lama Tsongkhapa himself, that in the beginning of Lamrim and in many other works, Lama Tsongkhapa praised Sangha and protecting Nagarjuna being the trailblazers.
我就是的，但对老李可是有点可惜，就是我在台湾有点我老李说啊，可是我听我在见过台湾有的是。
So you can also refer back to your Lamrim teaching, Lamrim text at the beginning part of it. Then you will see, what's it? Gyaltsen.
我记得我台湾有的是，那什么的嘛，这点。你这一说，他就你我现在跟我这个出门的老说些，我就是可能是。
So in the beginning part of it, which is the homage part of Lamrim, the beginning part of it, then you will see that Lama Tsongkhapa pay homage to the two trailblazers, the one who revived the systems of the Buddha's teachings, who are Nagarjuna and Asanga.
那兄弟说就是下过来的，就是干的是图是呢，我是上去种的的，2年的呢，把它落细就是把的话，必须要。上去种的个2年落细就是把它打提点把的，要不念嘛的是吧？落细就把的话，你是2年的要不念嘛的是。但落细这个，到第一章的第一节说，这个旁边的看到，女主给马个对，老师把你出了问题，看到提点把的我的是。
女主这块的。
女主吧，我说马主老师。我出的话，马主老师吧，这个主呢，当的。这里呢，这个是点把的嘛，如果人手，对吧？上去呢，落细就把它念白了是。第呢，被顶住老师把这里忙不用呢，这是点把的嘛用呢，听的是点把基本打完的是，听的是点把的呀打完的是，对吧？听的是点把的呀打，这是点把的，吧？我玩他的，我的2把身上，那他们的心里说的有道理嘛，对吧？我们得去，对吧
？So regarding these two trailblazers, or who revived the systems of the Buddha's teachings, so a short history about it is, after Buddha passed into Parinirvana for 40 years, after Buddha's passing into Nirvana, but Buddha's teaching was well abided, was well established and well abided. However, after that, then there are many wars and conflicts happen in India. The Arya's land, or basically it refers to India. There are many wars and conflicts happen in India. So because of that, then Mahayana teachings in India was decreased. And however, Mahayana teachings was decreased, and Hinayana teachings alone was flourished.
他听的点把的呀，他话的是话，他的确点把的嘛，用的呗，西姑娘他话查的是，他的查的，他上去2个人的呢，把他落细节子，他落细节子嘛，他我不能做，不开话的是，他落细，就上去2个人落细节，
接了，
对接了，对我不能做开话的是，他我不能做给你，讲的也上去就他弄点有点是弄点毛病，我不能做给你，他的确点把，他2把的呀背的。这说切吧的，但兄弟说切做的，他这就是点把的嘛，娘的的，我说他说也切的也别话头啊，我的嘞。
And 400 years after Buddha's passing into Nirvana,
Protector Nagarjuna came into the came to this world, and there are many prophecies about the coming of Nagarjuna in the Buddha's teaching. So then Protector Nagarjuna came and revived the decreased Buddha's teaching. So those teachings are already declined, and then Nagarjuna came and revived those teachings. So that's why they are called trailblazers, or they are called the one who revived the system. Buddha prophesied the coming of Protector Nagarjuna in many sutras. We see such prophecies that 400 years after Buddha's passing into Parinirvana, then a person who named Protector Nagarjuna will come to this world and revive those declined Buddha's teachings and cause it to flourish. So it is called trailblazers, and it is also called the one that will revive the systems of the teachings. So it also called like charioteers, the chariot. So in the past, then also there are roads meant for the chariot to travel, and then those roads have to be big, right? So just like today's, when you have big roads, then for car or cars or lorry to go through, then for it to travel. Then similarly in the past, then those are a big trail or vast trail for a chariot to go to travel on it. So this is what it means by charioteers, the two charioteers, the two pioneers, or the two that revives the systems. So Nagarjuna is one of it, and then another one is Asanga. So Nagarjuna is the one that will mainly revive the systems of Madhyamaka. So how Protector Nagarjuna spread, caused the Mahayana teachings to flourish or revive the systems of the teachings is by composing treatises. So what treatises composed by Pratita Nagarjuna? So in order to revive the systems of scripture, in order to revive scriptures, Pratita Nagarjuna composed the compendiums of sutra. And in order to revive the reasoning, then Pratita Nagarjuna composed 6 collections of reasoning.
Oh, did that the Sumachirua? And that is to the job. That is what that result was.
We are you.
Also, the so to the time. So to the go achievement here. So to the party. Yeah, I read it on also pay. Gasha got some. I didn't die. Should not go. So, the Yamaha, like in a promo. Thing was a really much Jatan Yorua.
Sashi.
Or Sashi. So you want that. Dodo, she sharing Rua. And don't but this. Dodo, the man who might be so cheery. Look when a so cheer. When a so cheer. That Dodo, the Tamang is what you want.
Yeah. So in order to revive the scriptures, then Nagarjuna composed the name of Sutra. And in order to revive a reasoning, then Pratita Nagarjuna composed 6 collections of reasoning. So it will take a long time to explain what are the objects of negations mentioned in the text, and then what are the purposes of compose those texts. So unless we teach based on those texts specifically, otherwise then it will take a lot of time to explain each of them. The object of negations or purposes of composing those texts respectively. So basically, Pratita Nagarjuna composed a compendium of sutra and 6 collections of reasoning.
That is what the Hindi so cheery thing to Zoroa. That is that garden was not. Who will do it? Hindi so. Kero, that will be Hindi so killer. What be Hindi so cheers? What be Hindi so the current? Nothing is so. Who be Hindi so the current? That day and yes, so Jinky dingy the Shasarwa. Hindi so, Jinky dingy cartoons. Dingy so to the
Niteba Sujiro.
Oh, it's what they're thinking cartoon, thinking to what. Hindi is so. Who might be Hindi so the as a I saw the Garcia was not. Number 2 bus. Number 2 bus, number 2 bus, negative. What? Number 2 bus. That's I am rich. Tiny do. Yes, I want to that's I mean. Tell me the 20 table. I need to charge 20 table. Do the report you go left in a puppy. In a puppy. You so chamber that he saw the dish is like so. What? Number 2 but that's I am rich. I need a church. Tangy. Wow. Russia, Chepa. I did table the Munda Ripa New 20. In a power is Takana. But he is so there that. Or that was he is so dear, danger because the danger there to danger the she is so the car. She is so the car is a big miss for that. What? Go to cross, he is so give up. He is so give up. He is so dear, the danger the car is not to Mendoculative. He is so the he is so the car, that thing is so. What did that did?
So Pratita Nagarjuna composed those treatises in order to revive or restore the teachings, right? And in particular, Pratita Nagarjuna is the one who revived the system or traditions of Madhyamaka. So what is the system, or what is the systems of Madhyamaka? So it's very important to identify the systems of Madhyamaka as well. The system of Madhyamaka. So the system is there is not even an atom that is ultimately exists nor truly exists. So ultimately exists and truly exists. They are mutually inclusive. So there is not even an atom that is established ultimately or truly, and yet all phenomena, the presentations such as actions and agents of all phenomena are tenable conventionally. So this is the system revived by Pratita Nagarjuna. So I repeat, there is not even a atom that is truly exists or ultimately exists. And yet, the presentations such as actions and agents are tenable conventionally. So this is the system revived by Protector Nagarjuna.
dan aji chang de ne ba ngo chi ba che da mo mo lu do ma bi xin di son je re se ko je bo ko son je yi bi jo je de che da ma bi xin di son je re ngo lu do ma bi xin di son je re ma bi xin di son je ke den je ga ra zo yo re ga re se ne ngo su ba ma bi xin di son je ke ma bi xin di son je ke den je de ni ta ko le de sa to lu ngo de do ku le bi ba ji de xin ba che da 我的心吧，
我们也说些，我们也说些，
我们不是说些，
也说些，
我说你跟着我，我到底反正我下个月，你说搞下个，他说那个干部主管不当然没吧，你说的对的，那干部主管不当然没个，他那个，在这方面是吧？弄得把你给拖的，听了没把的，我等你听了没把的，你说的在说，说些是吧？我说的对的。
龙岛这边电了呗？
哦，龙岛电了呗吧？龙岛这边电了，卡对吧？是，我这干的，他那种小人那些都是铁的，对吧？农历你是过来电了，爸爸也是，很多的电了方面，我说天嘛，我说天波成品那就有很多，我说天波电也是的。
So this is something that we have to keep in our mind. So when we say that Protector Nagarjuna revives the systems of Madhyamaka, then we have to understand what treatises that Nagarjuna composed in order to revive the systems of Madhyamaka. And as I mentioned just now, to revive the scripture, then in the name of sutra, then to revive the reasoning, then six collections of reasoning. Then we also have to understand why what are the reasons why Protector Nagarjuna are called the one who revived the systems of Madhyamaka. So the system here, the system Protector Nagarjuna revives is that there's not even an atom that exists ultimately or truly, yet presentations such as the presentations such as the actions and agents of all phenomena are tenable conventionally. So this is ascertained by scriptures and ascertained by reasoning as well. So this system that is was revived by Protector Nagarjuna are called the Great System.
Oh, dan gombulu du kanda, uma bishini sonje, dan gombulu du de kanda, soni toni de, nani lo shida bidela, gombulu du twele, uma bishini gombulu du lo kata shimasa, lo tuja shuresu, lo tuja shuresu. 他只说了，记得写当第四了嘛？那第四我们因为那就用到老主教训的，就是嘛，我们老主教训的，那老主教训的，他好像有这个，他看到公办训的，电话进来开完也是，都是逻辑的多。
我训的，
哦，吧，咱这个的，我说了，我说我有这个，我记了，看到，不能电话进行了，那是开完也是，电话进行了，
他信的咯，
电话打不行了。
이 가서 외밤이 신들이
답이 신랑
답이 신랑 Yeah, so Protector Nagarjuna came to this world 400 years after Buddha's Shakyamuni passing into Parinirvana. Protector Nagarjuna revived the systems of Madhyamaka system, and Protector Nagarjuna lives for 600 years. And this there are different saying. So saying how's talking about the age of Protector Nagarjuna. So however, the common saying would be Protector Nagarjuna lived for 600 years. Then at at South India, South India, then Protector Nagarjuna passed into Parinirvana, and went to the Pure Land.
Oh, this is Ganda. Then also, this is the Gombu to Kashi is a Tambore, Kashi is a Bimbare, Ati sa deba re kahi ke sanji re de bi
Satamo, Satyumba,
o sa deba jeba
Sangi.
sanji re se bi sheda ma mo yo ma mo yo ta ongul du sanji re se wa ma so wa la ni wa de sheda pe mo sanji du sanji re se wa
Alami.
o wa la ni wa sheda ongul du te na sanji sa re se wa la ni mo sheda ta ma so ni bi ma so di ja ge ta ti mo na ma la ka da yo da la ma so sa dimba yi sa dimba sa dimba ta che da ma so sa tangbo yi sa jeba yi se bi ma da yo de ta che na ye sa dimba yi se da di ma chua ge
Protector Nagarjuna is said to be a person who is on the seventh ground. This is the general descriptions in many texts saying that Protector Nagarjuna was on seventh ground. So there are many saying also. Some say Protector Nagarjuna is on the first ground. Some say Nagarjuna is on fifth ground, and then some say Protector Nagarjuna has already attained enlightenment. So, if from the perspective of the highest yoga tantra, then Protector Nagarjuna is said to have achieved enlightenment already. So he is a Buddha from the perspective of highest yoga tantra. So, and then the common way of saying Nagarjuna would be on the seventh ground. So, according based on the appearance to the disciples, from the perspective of appearing to the disciples, then Protector Nagarjuna was on seventh ground.
From the Sanji Guru to Kanda Mobanaco, look, the look getting Gumulu to pay so someone will hear it. So the tree, Panyangil in the air, it is someone who hear the Kanando. To get me in the Yangil, give it to someone who hear Sanji Lundin, those and Lundin Mamu, that's a shame of what you are. You don't have to Jishi, but you're not in jail. Someone who hear Sanji.
So, including the coming of Protector Nagarjuna 400 years after Buddha Shakyamuni passing into Parinirvana and lived for 600 years. So, these are mentioned by Buddha Shakyamuni in the sutra. Are prophesied by Buddha Shakyamuni in the sutra.
I'm going to do it. Hindi Sonji, Hindi swords, those of them are. I didn't get also what woman. What's in the king of the what woman that Tibachibola, Tibachimbola, Mobby, how did that was in the Tawani of Yurua, it was Timbodela, Mabitawa, Singa Vitawa of Yurua. What does the overcome since I mean,
Yeah, so this is a brief descriptions about Protector Nagarjuna who revived the systems of Madhyamaka. And then another trailblazer is Sangha. Then it's the one who revived the systems of Chittamatra. So in general, the Mahayana school of tenets, there are two. One is Madhyamaka, another one is Chittamatra. So Sangha is the one who revived the systems of Chittamatra.
Rabanda Papa Tomi, at the Haron Mundir, Sanji. Sanji Nangin, low good young man, Papa Tomi. Will do jealous. Sanji Nangin, low good jaggy, low good yata, Papa Tomi Penny. Since I became project, Loja and what you should have. Loja and what you should have done. What? You get the light, gesture.
So similarly, the coming of Asanga also prophesied by Buddha, and Sangha came after Nagarjuna. So Sangha came 900 years after Buddha's passing to Parinirvana, and Asanga lived for 150 years, and then went to the deity's realm.
Papa Tomek since I became so, and they think that you couldn't ship on Ashi. Papa Tomek since I became so she thinking the Karisha would be yes. Since I 도매기 생각이 힌디 소리 땡지데 사대가 요 그래서 취다 생각 고치 취다 봐 사대가 도나바니 사대가 도나니서 되래
사대와다
사대가 도나니 도나니 오니와 체디가 오킬레기 봐 니와다 간다
사대가 당도
그거 제목이 동음바 군디 제가 제목이 동음바 군디다 뭐만 또 힌디서
행복군주당
동음바 군디 제목이 동 군디다 이 제목만 이거 힌디서
Chokyi
이게 또 내니게 그런
Chi tu hey na di presentation ki the
어떻게 어떻게 벌써 돼
사대가 다
동나니
yeah and Asanga composed treatises to revive the systems of Chitta Matra, and the treatises are the 5 grounds, the treatise called 5 grounds, and also compendium of knowledge or compendium of Abhidhamma, and also summary of the great vehicle.
Oh, dear, what? That you put the Shibanita, Tomegi, Tomegi, send up between the sword, so Karishaburi, that day, that injured Shatarwa, or Tomegi, send up between the sword, what? That Tomegi, so cheap, and send up between the sword, send up between the sword, Karishaburi, as a thing is Muraya. I think the Castina Cesare, today, the magic of the Shindy system, Shindy Kelly Womarwa. 이게 매지 신화가 요 템바트바 요한테 요 템바트바 근다 신화 님에도 누다리 빨리 거에 뜻이가
근다 때문에
신화가 요도 니가 템바트바 그때 내가 대로와 이 내가 신화 요도니 템바트바라 근다 치나 님에도 근다 빨리 거에 뜻이가 그래서 소들이다
군다기 취열에
군다 취열을
군다 데메리
취열은 취열은 데메스 신화도 요 템바 이게 너무 이게 매치와
매바
신화의 용도 템바트바다 군다 취열은 데메도 다 누다를 거기 그래서 어디서 다 생각이 필수 됐다 생각 필수이 있어 소치야 소
And Asanga is said to revive the systems of Chitta Matra, right? So the system here is there is no external object, and other powered and thoroughly established are truly established, and the imputed phenomena are non-truly existent, and these were ascertained by scriptures and reasoning. So I repeat. So the system that was revived by Asanga was there is no external object. Other powered and thoroughly established are truly established. Imputed phenomena are non-truly existent, and these were ascertained by scriptures and reasoning.
Oh, the 하고서 나 그거 보면 나중 그걸로 신기 손질에 신기 손질이 변화를 어디 신거다. 좋아. 신기 본벌로 오마비 신기 손질에서 오마비 신기 손질에 오마비 찌려와 오마비 신기 손질 바바 통해 생각이 신기 신기 손질이나 신기 소다 셰바레 신기 손질 되게 가려는 게 돈 우리 이용을 왜 하고 같이 와 하고 같이 왜 신기 손질에서 답에 간다 tempo chunde de be anda sa de da tiji tempo de kanda lo shi ji ni je la ka tiji tempo de ma yu wa ta tiji tempo de ma yu za de ya so de ya ya thinking ko na ma ni de kanda wo lu de to me ni wa wo ti lo de shi so shi so.
Yeah, so this is a summary about the trailblazers. So so 40 years after Buddha's passed into Nirvana, the Buddha's teachings was properly abided, and after that, then due to wars and conflict, then Buddha's Mahayana teachings in particular was declined, and Hinayana teaching alone was flourished. So then 400 years after Buddha's passing into Nirvana, they came, Protector Nagarjuna, and to revive the systems of Madhyamaka. And then 900 years after Buddha's passing into Parinirvana, then Asanga came and revived the system of Chittamatra. So this is how they are called trailblazers, and this is how they are called the one who revived the system. So and what treatises they composed then is good to understand and good to ascertain them as well, and what system actually was revived by them. So as I mentioned just now, it's good to ascertain them and keep in mind.
Oh, this is. I'm not the Hindi soldier. You only the Quran, but the Hindi Quran is so. But Hindi soldier need a source and Hindi mother can get you as well. Hindi soldier need. We are like what's the need. So that's also like Hindi soldier to share what. That's also. Trying that's so danger to someone in the Shumaku, Mamushu, but not eat and not for that watching. 100 Hindi soldier, the autumn is the autumn. 100 Hindi soldier. What 100 Hindi soldier, but the autumn. Nobody the water. A Kashi Sanjija incident, do you? Not the Ina, the Jen watching a daughter of Yamatuza, the GFC Suma, the word. Well, 100 Hindi soldier, but the autumn. That is the danger so much about.
Yeah. So in general, there are the two trailblazers referred to Protector Nagarjuna and Master Asanga. So, and according to each school of tenets, they assert their own trailblazers or the one who revived the systems. So there are too many of them. So in general, for Prasangika Madhyamaka, the one who the trailblazer is Chandrakiti. So. And some say Buddha Palita is the trailblazer of Prasangika Madhyamaka. However, that was ascertained by Rinpoche, and together with his two spiritual sons was Chandrakiti. So Chandrakiti was the one who revived the system of Prasangika Madhyamaka.
For that Rinpoche, Gumba the Hindi the conduct the body daughter of one is and the Hindi soldier danger Shabana, such a thing, but it's a it's a that you don't what do you do? What's the
Tawagi?
Oh, yeah, the Hindi soldier injured the reason and do it.
Thank you.
Oh, I just injured.
Yeah, so Chandrakiti composed clear words to revive the systems of Prasangika Madhyamaka.
That on Hindi soldier said that mobility. Well, mobility. That is so much Hindi soldier the Marsh, Shumakuachina, and the Digimuma, Nanjimuma, but initial. They didn't do the Ranjiba, Chigi Hindi soldier and the Digimuma, Oma Hindi soldier, Niga is Ranjiba Chi Hindi soldier, the Digimuma, the Digimuma, Nirwa.
To data.
The Digimuma Ranjiba, Digimuma Ranjiba, Nirwa. Oh, that they did it. How about Chi to the Digimuma Ranjiba is on the Niga is or the Digimuma is on this.
Yeah. So and Bhava Viveka is the one who revives the systems of Svatantika Madhyamaka. So as I mentioned just now, Madhyamaka can be divided into two, right? So Prasangika Madhyamaka, then the one who revived is Chandrakiti, and Svatantika Madhyamaka then was revived by this system is revived by Bhava Viveka. So Svatantika Madhyamaka can be further divided into two. So Svatantika Madhyamaka, Yogacara Svatantika Madhyamaka. So Bhava Viveka is the one who revived Svatantika Madhyamaka in general, in particular Svatantika Madhyamaka.
That they did your Ranjiba taking Hindi soldier, the danger shots and not to share up to me.
Share to me. Oh,
share up to me. Woman would Sawat and Niga. And the word was 그래서 간다다 신디 손제비 땡제도 있어요.
And Baba Viveka composed a lamp of wisdom and essence of the middle way, the root text, and also the auto commentary to revive the systems of Svatantika Madhyamaka.
난저 집 오마랑 집에서 되게 신디 손제데 그 관계들에
가르치
맞아. 되게 그게
뭐 아니
뭐 아니 거 되게 와. 난 내가 집 오마랑 집에서 되게 하고 좋아서 그 좋아서 뜻하고.
And Chandarashita is the one who revived the systems of Yogacara, Svatantika Madhyamaka, the second divisions of Svatantika Madhyamaka. Udapalita. Chandarashita is the one who revived the system of Yogacara, Svatantika Madhyamaka.
나도 간다. 신디 소지가 띵제됐다 오마지 노래를 제 봐. 오마지 노래를 제 봐.
랑지.
이봐.
자오당랑지. And Chandarashita composed treatises called Ornaments of the Middle Way, the root text, and also a commentary to revive the systems of Yogacara, Svatantika Madhyamaka.
나도 신디 소지 지나만 가서 지금 따라서 신디 소도 막 가서 시부는 다 마음을 신지고 내가 시 소시야 막 시부는 되게 오늘 생각 단조 뭐니 시부 나시 시부라가 뜻이 뭐고요. 막 지나 이제 신나 지는 것도 이거마로와. 나도 지나 가서 신디 소지 막 민지 뜻 민지 키워니. 다 데미지 신디 소지의 샤스나 가서 문버데디 근데 좀 봐보 다 시리보다 뭔가라서 봤더니 그요와 고추다 이미지 소재 있어요. 뭐마데디 종게 다 셔리보다 뭐가 그래서 간다가 지지 이거와 어디서다가 이미지 소재. 이거 maybe 소재. 뭐마데디서 셔리보다 뭐가 다 있어요. 네. 어디서도 이미지 소재 있어.
So it's very difficult to talk about this individual system revived by trailblazers. So the general one would be the system of Madhyamaka system and Chittamatra systems. So those are very important to ascertain them, to identify them, and then to keep in our mind as well. So in terms of Vinayana trailblazers, then the treatises such as the 7 treatises on Abhidhamma, like for example, composed by Shariputra and Maukayayana, and etc.
신디 소지 두세 가서 다 뒤지마 두세 와. 그렇지. 다 가서 엄마비 가서 마시는 엄마비 준다게. 네. 그래서 숑 오티. 수가를 좀 맞지 주셔야 와. 엄마비 저기 쿵두사게 쏘러요라. 쿵두사게 쏘러. 단도서 가르가리메. 엄마비 준다고 막 간다. 바트리하게 준다고 바트리하게. 수사게 양도 쏘러서 가르가리서 쏘마 디디게 그렇게 와.
Next, I will briefly talk about the source of Madhyamaka schools of tenets. So, like what scriptures or what sutra it was. So, I will briefly talk about it. So the source of Madhyamaka, the schools of tenets, this sutra, the sutra of father and son meeting sutra, and the King of Concentration Sutra, teaching of Asayamati Sutra, the sutra called 10 Grounds, and the sutra, the Entering the Two Truths Sutra. So I repeat, Father and Son Meeting Sutra, King of Concentration Sutra, teaching of Asayamati Sutra, teaching of Asayamati Sutra, and the sutra called 10 Grounds, and also Entering the Two Truths Sutra.
Oh, this is what I'm not so much the Kudu. Kanda Gomulu to get up, and Oma Mahindi so cheery. Kanda should do your door, that's our share. When you someone get Jabuta, that's our share. Yes, that's our share. That's our share. What's our share?
The Voluri in Zahua.
That is sort of the issue that was so to know that's our share. That Umba still a pearl that Inji Kanga that Jabuta was it's our share. Yes, what I'm
gave it or she gave
Inji Kanga Jabuta. Inji Chandana, the Jabu, the Jabus and Zora, what's all the Zawashir, yes. You did not conduct Jawdi on the Randade, Mubata, Tingu, and that Chilama, Umba, Tinju, Migina. Yes,
Tinjung, Migina.
Or that is the Chilima, too, and the Chilima Gumbate.
Did it to Giori?
That but she were on the Shijoda. Inject stars here of Zulma.
Tenjiro.
What is not the Chilima to the show? Machine of that.
So Potete Nagarjuna, the one who revived Madhyamaka system, composed the 6 collections of reasoning that I mentioned just now, and one of it is like king of the treatises, or like the main one among treatises. Then that is fundamental treatise on the middle way called wisdom. Fundamental treatise on the middle way called wisdom. That mainly that ascertain that ascertains emptiness, the meaning of emptiness, in which it ascertains the meaning of emptiness, and emptiness and arising, and the path of middle way, the middle way, the path of middle way, or middle way. Middle way. So middle way, emptiness, and arising are proved to be mutually inclusive in those treatises.
Oh, did and the Tawuma be known as a peta, someone was not thinking over them, the Pavalani. Nadi Pavala and Gumulu to Nigala. Why assist in an answer? Nadi. Why is Nangumulu to the Pavalani? He assists the Mazu Najina, some of the fool, yes, is it wire. Kisha Marita, and that thing was Lama Susan Lama da Loma Kisha. Gumulu, why assist Naji? Gumulu da Papa. Pavala de Lama Gumulu the Pavala de Lama. Pavala de Gumulu Loma. Koraniga the Tangani Tony, the Shiki Odomedo, the Korani challenge. Korani Jeremy Jinju to so that Sankijana, the so Mambo so Korani Jesma or you do Gumba, Gumba Terang Tony. You do shoot them a Gumba Terang Tony, Omar Hajibasa, Matanjuasa, and so Gumba Malata, the Omar Hajibi Tavares, the Omar Tanji Tavares. Gumba to Gumba Matata, Anjiba, Tanjuas much more. No, to Maba, Maba to that she would have the Sanji Matagaro Yorwa, Sanji Shashuka to that Yorwa. So, or Sanji Shashuka, to Tamash, because she's a wa. Arajiba, Umaba, Tanjua, so the Madame Gumba to Gumba Matata Tony, Rajibitawa, Mataji Tawas, which was ever wa.
Di kumpulu ki Jesu changi ina di le denje da lawa chaba
so you don't. The Sanji Jana, what about Sutta of Trinity or Makanua? They did go more. 뭐 라지가 탄지워서 되는 거 좀 봐요. 그것도 뭐 받았다는 거래. 무슨 시계랑 그런 건데 봐.
So in general, when we talk about the ayah, father, and son, so there is a term for it like ayah, father, and son. So however here, the father and son does not generally refer to a biological father and biological son. So here it specifically referred to Lama and the spiritual son, or the students or the spiritual son. So in this ayah, father and son, the father, ayah father referred to the Lama, who is protector Nagarjuna, and the spiritual son referred to the students, which is ayah Deva. So they are the main one who talk about the Madhyamaka view. And then based on Nagarjuna way of giving explanations, then they came many followers and who also composed many commentaries, like, such as Bhava Viveka, Buddha Palita, Chandrakirti. So Buddha Palita and Chandrakirti are the one who mainly who compose commentary mainly on the view of Prasangika Madhyamika. So, and because of these, based on the Nagarjuna's way of giving explanations, then it divided into two: the view of Prasangika Madhyamika and the view of Prasangika Madhyamika. So besides the ayah, father, and son, so there are another term which is called Rashita, father and son. So if you refer to other books, then these terms will will appear. So when when you come across these words, then you will know who they are referring to. So another one is the Rashita, father and son. So the spiritual father referred to the Lama, Rashita, and the spiritual son referred to Kamalashin.
Oh, also the also
They talk about Madhyamika. Madhya also means middle. So they are middle way school, right? Madhyamika is called middle way school in English. So this middle, meaning that not falling into the two extremes. So it means not falling into the two extremes, or the one who assert the middle that is free from two extremes, the extremes of permanence. In other words, is eternalism, and another extreme is extremes of nihilism. So these are the two extremes: extremes of permanence or eternalism, and extreme of nihilism. So who assert? So that the middle refer to the middle that is free from these two extremes, or the one who or not falling into the two extremes. So the one who asserts such middle that is free of two extremes are Madhyamika, or the one who asserts middle way.
매버지라 여봐 돈도 받아 다가스 두배시나 매버지라 여봐 돈도 받아 여봐지라 매봐 구한테 받아钱大스 뭐 지천에 두서 좋아 상타 钱大스 나 매버지라 여봐 돈다 받아 다가스 여봐들라 매봐 구한테 받아 钱大스 이치와.
So middle is the middle that is free of two extremes or free of two extremes or not falling into the two extremes. So these two extremes, like I mentioned just now, the extremes of permanence or finalism and and extreme of nihilism. So extreme of permanence in general can be explained in this way, identified in this way, which superimposes non-existence as existent. So that which superimposes a non-existence as existence is the extremes of permanence or eternalism in general, and the one that and which denies existence as non-existence, an existence as non-existence, and is the general explanations of extremes of nihilism. So that which denies or that which deprecates or that which denigrates. So there are many words. So that which denies non-existence, denies existence as non-existence is extremes of nihilism.
나 상타세요데 근데 여비차다 상타세요 여비다 상타세요 여비 천타세요데 매빈다 이거로 상타세요데 여빈다 천타세요데 매빈다
미니 남당라고
네 된다 맞고 자우 상타세요데 여빈다 이쪽으로 상타세요데 여빈다 천타세요데 매빈다 나 되니 질문 이쪽으로
and extremes of permanence or eternalism is also called extremes of existence. And the extremes of nihilism is also called the extremes of non-existence.
여비 타세요 간지 구글 쓰는 거죠. 여비 타세요데 맞죠? 여바 세워데 세시 요다 간다. 여바 세워 세시 딜레 파 가위. 세시 딜 가레. 가와치 여바 이나 아데 여비 타세요. 여바 세워
세시세 가레.
여비 세시. 세시 가서 그냥 세미 미바다 여비 세시 다 간다. 세미 미바. 세미 미바 여비 세니스 샤요와 가서 어디 샤요와. 어다 세미 미바 여비 세니스 포인자 아 여비 세시 가르스나 세미 미바. 세미 미바다 여비 세시 되래. 여비 세시. 나 여바이나 세미 미바 지는 거래. 나 세미 미바지 얘를 하바지 나 로이다 나 여비 그래서 여비 파 그래서 여비 파들 세시들에 비해서 세시들 비해서 와 세시들 여비 타서 세시들 비해서 세시들 개봐
여비 세시 레 하바
요 세시들 하바스다 여비 여비 타세
여비 타
여비 타 여비 타 여비 세시들 비해서 나서다 여비 세시들 파하서 와
데레 하
어디를 해서 때문에 가서다 얘를 가서다 여바래 간다
가서
여비 세시들 가서 와 여비 세시들이야 해서니 세시 따다 메워서다 여기 타는 거야 와 그 도도세 따달리는 거 여비 타서 여비 타서 여바서 어디 세시들에 파 가차이 지 시에서디 다 여비 타서 그래서
다와 야나 데레 하
데레 파 다와
세시 세시
맞아 여바게 세시들 재미미 봐서 와 여비
세니
재미미 봐
재미가 여비 재미로
재미가 여비 재미로 나 여바이나 재미미 봐지 물어와 재미미 봐지 요구로 와 재미미 봐지 요구로 와 재미미 봐지 여바이나 나도 여바 원해 여바 세시 나도 재미미 봐를 가서 나가나 여바를 가서 세시대 여비 타지 와대
Yeah, so these extremes of existence. So in previously we learned about the definitions of existence, right? Which is that which is observed by a valid cognizes. So this is the definitions of existence. So, and if there is something if there is something observed by a valid cognizers, then that is the illustrations of existence. So here, the extremes of existence refer to that which go beyond the illustrations of existence, or that which contradicts the illustrations of existence. So since it contradicts, or since it go beyond the illustrations of existence, so it doesn't become an existence. So that's why it is called superimposed, that which superimposes non-existence and existence. So it has already gone beyond the illustrations of existence, or it has already gone beyond the boundary of existence. So then it cannot become it doesn't become an existence.
다들 가서 단다 가들 배 다다스는 여빈다. 아 여빈다들 당 오마바기 여빈다데 에 가와서 다 여빈다데 가르스는 간다 오마바 타도 여빈다 세워서 최단지 덴버 주바. 최단지 덴버 주바데 다 여빈다. 좋아. 다 최단지 덴버 주바에서는 요새들 하바치셔서 다 간다. 여비 지시들 최단지 덴버 주바데 스스로 또 봐서 말어와. 스님이 봐 말어와. 스님이 봐 말어와. 덴버 주바서. 최단지 덴버 주바서. 다 덴버 주바데 여빈다. 여빈 타서 여바 지시들 거처럼 와. 여바 지시들 여바 지시 따다가 되나 스님이 불어와. 스님이 또 불어와. 스님이 불어와. 딱고 스님이 불어. 야 가서라 여바 치레 가서.
유비 지시리 타와 나데 스님이 봐 요마.
다 스님이 봐 요마. 스님이 여비 지시들 따다 돼요 말어와. 오 대마였습니다. 아 여빈 타래. 여빈 타. 다 스님이 봐 되래. 개차래. 왜 개왔습니다. 너도 찾아래. 너도 찾아라. 좋아. 다 너도 찾아래. 다 들이 여빈 타 되다 좋아. 덴버 주거든. 다 그가 너도 오만 봐. 최단지 덴버 주거든. 여빈 타. 다 되다 좋아. 되다 좋아. 걔는 최단지 덴버 주거. 말이 세고다 간다. 덴버 주거 여 말이 세고다 간다. 오만 봐. 되다 들어와.
So we say that the middle that is free from two extremes, and one of it is the extremes of existence. So the extremes of existence refer to the truly establishments of all phenomena. So that is the extremes of existence. True establishments of all phenomena. So it has already gone beyond the boundary or the limits of existence. So this true establishment is not observed by any valid cognizers. So there is no valid cognizers that observe the true establishments of phenomena. So it has gone beyond the limits of existence or the boundary of existence. So that is why it is called superimposed.
오, 다 여빈 타서 다 들다. 다 간다고 해서 여빈 타서 다 같은 일이세요. 이제 나한테 덴버 주바지. 최단지 덴버 주바지 여빈 타서 들다. 그래서 하고가 제거다. 최단지 덴버 주바지 여빈 타. 다 여빈 타서 가르에서나 여바기 세시텔에 가서요. 여바기 세시텔에 여바기 세시리 가르서나 스님이 봐. 스님이 봐이나 다 스님이 또 봐셔 인구로 와. 다 스님이 봐이나 은혜 여바로 와. 은혜 여바로 와. 스님이 또 와. 스님이 봐이나. 재미기 민법 많이 나다 요마로 와. 오, 나 덴버 투바서 지금 덴버 투바서 세워서 다 이거 세시 텔레바 게사다. 되게 차지. 다 옆에 타서 데려다 가면서
세시세대 세시대로.
말이
세시세대.
세시세대 세. 옆에서 세 가는 재미미 봐. 재미 된다 재미 들어 와.
That's all. Yeah. So just now I said extremes of existence is that which go beyond the illustrations of existence, right? No, so it's not illustrations of existence. So it's that which go beyond that which goes beyond the limit of existence, boundary of existence. Yeah. So that which is observed by valid cognizers is the definitions of existence, right? So it means that something is observed by a valid cognizers is an existence, and something that is not observed by a valid cognizers then is a non-existence. So So how say we say that the middle is free of two extremes. So the extremes of existence, it refers to the true establishments of all phenomena. So it has gone beyond the limits of existence, or it contradicts the limits of existence.
오데 다가서 첸다서도 maybe 타디 봐. 아 첸다서 maybe 타데 그래서 매바서와 세시데. 그래서 매바서와 세시나 그 세미기 또 봐셔 많이 봐.
maybe 세시.
maybe 세시데. 세미기 나도 모르와스나 그래. 세미기 나도 모르와. 제가 세미기 또 봐셔 많이 봤으나 그래. 바로 거다
세민기. 세마
세미기 또 보자 많이 봐라. 간다. 세미기 또 봐 많이 봐. 세미기 또 봐셔 많이 봤지. 근데 그래가 세미기 나도 모르와지.
도시아 많이 봐.
오, 재미 도시아 많이 봐. 근데 우리가 보다 재미 도시아 말아. 재미 또 봐셔 말아. 오, 게. 아, 첸다스와도 오, 아들 계산 간다. 와. 첸다스와도 간다. maybe 타들와. 나 maybe 타스나 몇 바퀴 치시들 계산. 나 몇 바퀴 치시들 계산이 다 여방원에 여바데. 너 말해서 너거 와.
가차리야나 데리 하바다
어 데리 하바도 살아 데리 하바 나서 레전드에서 렌데 그 교화되는 제부 대화 교화돼 요르와 요아순다 아디 요 말했으나 몇 다 지시들 계산 요만 렌데 요 말해서나 아 재미 또 봐셔 많이 받고 재미 맞도 받지 그러와 렌데데 렌데데 재미 또 봐셔 와와 몇 바들 계산 좋아 와 maybe 타들 시시들 계속 나간다.
렌데데 요 말에서 나와이나 근데 디 가서 maybe 타디.
maybe 타와 괜찮아 maybe 타와 maybe 타서다 maybe 타 시시들 계속 렌데디 요로 들어와
계속 대양 디 델리 하바게 된다래. 가나 디 아주 가와.
따따 맞게 봐. 완전 놓쳤는데.
다 비슷하게요.
완전 좋아.
가와 이디 좀 알아.
어느 말이 막 토바를 자다하고 누여에는 내가 토바들 해체를 실로 보는 거야. 내가 세트를
맞아. Yeah. So just now I also mentioned one word that is not correct. I say it contradicts the limits of existence, right? So it is not the word is not correct. So I should stick to go beyond. It goes beyond the limits of existence. So come to the extremes of nihilism, or also referred to as it's also called an extremes of non-existence. So means that it has gone beyond the limits of non-existence. So it has gone beyond the limits of existence. So and the definitions of 그래서 maybe 체니로 이제라 비 체미 또바 자와 마인바디 maybe 체니로 yeah. So the definitions of non-existence is that which is not an object realized or cognized by valid cognizers. That which is not an object realized or cognized by valid cognizers. For example, rapid spawn. So it is not an object of it is not an object that is realized by the valid cognizers. So, like for example, if we say that cause and effect, actions and effects exist, right? So if you create a virtuous actions, then you will experience the happy results. So it exists. So if you say that it doesn't exist, then it has gone beyond the limits of non-existence. Because the lende the yo maris lawaina, and the yo maina the meba. Yeah. So the extremes of non-existence, then he has fall into the extremes of non-existence because actions and effects exist. So if you say it doesn't exist, then one has fall into the extremes of non-existence.
아마도 우마바세와 다다치 인탄데 자와세 뭐 다치 인탄데 자와 위는니 바세와 아 땅타데 맞어 다 뎀바투바데 땅타치 그러와 뎀바투바다 최당제 뎀바투바레스나서 요바 도다서와 아 땅타 요비타 들어와 요비타 뎀바투바 최당제 뎀바투바지 요비타 아 타티다 자와 아 첸다세와다 다 메비타 들어와 메비타 다 최 원데바드라 간다 렌디다 꾸줘라서 요마에서 다 메비다. 좋아. 메비다. 오데. 아, 타니데 메바. 고았다 보더와. 오데.
타니도 매바
타니데 메바. 요 타니데 요게지가 다 메바세. 다 바로와. 오데 메비다. 다 데니다 자이 피나니 바세. 다 데니다 자이 피나니 바세.
Yeah, so back to middle or the middle way. So the middle is not falling the middle not falling into the two extremes. So as I mentioned just now, the two extremes are the extremes of permanence or eternalism, and it's also called extremes of existence. For example, if you say all phenomena are truly established, then you superimpose quality. You superimpose quality that doesn't exist. And another extreme is extremes of nihilism, and it's also called extremes of non-existence. Then, for example, if you say that cause and effect doesn't exist, three jewels doesn't exist, then it becomes an illustrations of extremes of non-existence. Or, for example, something exists conventionally, but you say that it doesn't exist conventionally. If you deny or fabricate in this way, then it's also streams of non-existence. So middle way or the one who propounds the middle way is the one who stay in the middle and not falling into two extremes.
가서 우로와 나 단다 아까 그래서 된다 집발에 우로와 나 단다 가야지 타히 야슈도 가르래서는 나 세워다 가서데 엄마 가서 회장지 대버 두바 어디 이마 그래서 와 대버 두바 나 단다 가야지 타히데 야 저러나 똥만이 캐리 최단이 지금 똥만이 캐리 뭐 그래 아 최단이 똥만이 캐리서나 나 단다래 와서 단다래 다시 더다 거기 최단이 그 똥만이 캐리 오요와
최단지 똥만이.
최단지 때는 똥만이. 그 최단지랑 이 뭐를 똥마. 최단지 때는 똥만이를 캐내봐 손자 땅탈래. 나 최단지 때는 똥만이 캐내고 와. 최단지 때는.
최단지 때는.
나 최단지 대마 맞아. 하나 된다 도도들이. 최단지 대마 맞아.
대마 맞아 봐라.
똥마 캐내와 나 똥만이를 캐내고 또 땅탈래. 최단지 때는 똥만이를 캐내고 땅탈래.
최단지 때도 똥만이 캐내봐.
캐내봐. 나 최단지 똥만이 최단지 때 똥만인데 캐내오니 나 땅탈다 잡아. 네. 나 다시 야신 땅타 가야 돼. 그래서 캐닝 돈 비싼다. 근데 네 봐서 계속 시험을 와. 네. 나 땅타다 잡아. 그렇게 내면서는 최단지 그래서 똥만인데 캐내면 되지. 다다 잡았어. 땅타다 누구 말해서 나간다. 최단지 똥만이 캐내오니 땅타다 누구 봐. 땅타다 누나 이렇게 막 캐내는 거래서. 땅이 돼 똥만 캐내오니 해뭐 누가 돼. 땅이 땅타다 누구 말했어.
So we say that the middle is free of two extremes, right? So in order to be free of two extremes, the best way or the best method to be free from the extremes of permanence or eternalism, or the best method to stop the extremes of permanence is the assertions of emptiness on the basis of all phenomena. So in another way of saying this is all phenomena are empty of inherent existence. All phenomena are not established truly. All phenomena are not truly established because extremes of permanence or eternalism asserts all phenomena are truly established, right? So if someone assert this, then one has fall into the extremes of permanence or eternalism. So the best way or the best method to stop it or to be free of this extreme is by asserting the emptiness on the basis of all phenomena, or by asserting emptiness of empty of all phenomena are empty of inherent existence, or all phenomena are not truly established.
다 진단에 가야기 다시 하시더라. 아마도 전다 가야게 다시 야슈데 가르스나 아 주다 찐라 되네 주에 땡리 왜나 찐라 되네 주 땡리지 켜내스나 아 전다데 다다가
Viene 중에
저 찐리 땡리지 땡리데 켜내오디 아 전다데 가로 와 기다려 아 전다데 렌데라서 군조 쓰이요 말해서 땡리 다니게 봐 예, 와 때우디 땡리 군디 되게 전다데 가야게 예 간다 주다 찐라 되네 주 땡리요 같이 켜내오디 땡리 뭐 켜내오디 전다데 다다가 아 렌데라서 봐 땡리해스 줄라서 봐 땡리해스 근데 땡리 이봐 켜내오디 전다데 다다 가는 거 전다데 소리 간다 찐라 되네 지와 해봐 아니래 요 말했으니 네 와다가 들어와 진다가 다시 야슈들이 쳐 나간다 아 엄마 봐대기 주다 찐라 되네 중에 땡리 켜내 봐 최단지대 동반이 켜내 봐 근데 켜내 올까
And middle, besides not falling into the extremes of permanence, and also not falling into the extremes of nihilism as well. So extremes of nihilism, saying something existence as non-existent, for example, cause and effect are existent, but they say the cause and effect doesn't exist. Three jewels exist, but they say that it doesn't exist. So if one denies or denigrates in this way, then one has fallen into the extremes of nihilism. So he's saying that saying that there is no, saying that there is nothing can be produced from cause and conditions, saying that there is no such existence that is produced from cause and conditions, then is a denial of So it is a extremes of nihilism. So the best method to stop or to be free from these extremes of nihilism is by asserting dependent arising, that is arising from its cause and conditions. So by asserting dependent arising, that is arising from its cause and conditions, then that is the best method to stop or to be free from the extremes of nihilism. So, like for example, extremes of nihilism say that cause and effect doesn't exist, right? So then by asserting dependent arising, then one says cause and effect or actions and effect are dependent arising. Then similarly, the extremes of extremists of non-nihilism then say that three jewels doesn't exist. Then by asserting dependent arising, one say three jewels exist dependently arising, or dependently arisen, or dependently arising. So by asserting dependent arising and emptiness on the basis of all phenomena, one abides in the middle and free from two extremes.
我刚刚说我们把它当他的前他那个当他的前他那个他挂的当他的前大个的记了对吧记了对吧为了对吧是我们是在等到记不了啊当他的前他那个的记了对不下来记了对不到的开了是吧记了对不到的开了当他往到忙着前他往到忙着记了对不等你到就开了我说的我们麻死了是吧我等到对了吧
So the middle refers to the middle or the center after negating or stopping the two extremes, the extremes of permanence and the extremes of nihilism. So that is middle or center after stopping or negating these two extremes. So the one who asserts the view of middle that is free of two extremes are Madhyamaka, the one who asserts middle way.
我的是吧？我这的好说话去，让他打起人他里的对，那就我们把它拿走，我们把它打起人他的对，为了那把晓得，那为了那把它肯定是为了那个是呢，哦，当他的头啊，当他的头啊的，还是当他的头开灵个是呢，东把你开灵皮，东把你开灵吧，说的当他的头啊也是，是吧？那前他的头啊肯定是开灵是呢，我点点开灵吧，说的，点点开灵比前呢，前他的头啊。 Yes. 와, 나 너도 지금 됐다. 가도 거기 보시나. 오, 동반이 킬레비 전에 땅타 예버도 받아. 자와레스, 까바레스. 와, 땅타 까바레스. Tanta Tawaris and degree. Oh, Chenda the Tawaris, Karsana, oh, Henry Kilibichan. Henry Kilibasunda, Ekanda, Chenda the Tawaris. Oh, the Anta the Chenda Nika the Tai, Gila de Battery, Gila Nibita, Gila Nibita, the Kilibasunda. Anta the Chenda Nika Trai, Kilib, Gila Nibita, Kilibasunda.
Yeah. So proponents of middle way are those who abides in the middle, that is free of two extremes, or that has stopped the two extremes. So in summary, that which stops the extremes of permanence or nihilism, permanence or eternalism, is by asserting emptiness, and that which stops the extremes of nihilism is the assertions of dependent arising. So, by asserting emptiness and dependent arising, one stays in the middle, free of two extremes. So the one who stays in the middle or in the center is Umapa, or the opponents of middle way.
Oh, this. What did you do? That was the that my Dutch on the 200 years.
Yeah, so do you have any question?
Can you hear me?
Hello? Yes? I can hear. Mr. Kwa, is it?
Yes. I want to ask, why is Ventantika Madhyamaka? Why is it called Madhyamaka? Because it has the extreme of asserting that something do exist autonomously. So how can they fall under middle way, which is what you explained, proceeding from two extremes? But Ventantika Madhyamaka, why is it called Madhyamaka? That's my question.
Vedanta Madhyamaka, right?
Because it is not middle, because it also asserts that there is an existence, isn't it? Other than Prasantika, they all have some sort of permanency. So they are not middle, really. That's why I was wondering why you use Madhyamaka.
Yeah. Shaladi Rangibe, Uma Ranguba in a Karijin, the Uma Batis Segionas. Kaisina Uma Rangubaina, the Kaza Tata the Hungi Oroa. Tata di Kaza Ranguba the Dugi Oroas. Taba said Taba the Dugi Ore, Ranguba de Dugi Oro. Karijin in the Uma Rangubaina, the Ranguba the Segioras.
That and then you don't ask you the debut to Stanja Janishima. Or the Umara Jiba with debut to a killing. Yes. That Tantas or debut to the Shadi Mamushima.
You need the Ranguba or
Ranguba killing Marisi. Umara Jiba debut to killing Umara. Debut to kill is a bit on Hunza. Umara Jibaina. I keep calling Mataja the morning if Mama said, dang it, Tanita with the mother. That won't go much say, but dang it, Tanita with the you do not make the Uma Vicinity. Uma Badal, Antiba Tanjo, Niga City, yes. You but Tantal Uma is. You got that Uma Pasio, the debut of a Jago.
Papa to you, Marwa. Papa said they needed, Tata said they needed to you.
Papa the Tata said, go to the Taba. Because she was Tantal Luma said, Demotuba, Dotava. Or dig is she was not so. There, Umar Hajiba, Uma said, the Haro, Uris, Umitawa, New Willis, cousin, was a Tata. Actually, in Tani that does a Tanta de Demotuba Tavala Shawis, Demotuba, Dile, Tawa, Demotuba, Tim Lema. Chenda saw that she was she. That didn't kill him or what about the
Yeah, so Mr. Kwa, if I understand your questions correctly, your question is why Svadantika Madhyamaka is called a Madhyamaka since he asserts permanence, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So so then as Kishala mentioned, Kishala says, then Svadantika Madhyamika do not assert permanence. Permanence as in streams of permanence. So extremes of permanence here is a superimposed permanence. So Svadantika Madhyamika do not superimpose permanence. In another way of saying this is Svadantika Madhyamika doesn't fall into the extremes of permanence. So because as it's the general definitions of proponents of entityness, which is a general definitions of Madhyamika. So it's a person who propounds Mahayana tenets and does not assert real or true existence. So, and also mentioned just now, the extremes of permanence means that all phenomena are asserted as truly established or truly existent, right? So since Svadantika Madhyamika, who fits in the definitions of a proponents of Madhyamika or non-entityness, so he does not assert a true existence. So Svadantika Madhyamika do not fall into the extremes of permanence. So Madhyamika, regardless of Svadantika Madhyamika or Prasangika Madhyamika, who do not assert phenomena as truly established or truly existent, right? Truly established or truly existent or ultimately established. So Madhyamika generally do not assert phenomena as truly established, truly existent, or ultimately established. And however, Chittamatra and below schools, Chittamatra, Sautrantika, Vaibhashika, they do assert things as truly existent. In another way of saying this is they assert that things ultimately establish. So since they assert in this way, they have fallen into the extremes of permanence. So however, proponents of middle way or Madhyamika, they are free of these two extremes. So stay in the middle, free of these two extremes.
Let me say, you know. Any question? Kasi kanda ngazo da uma batang we semua kita ini ngazo uma bacihi rani nanti bantu yang marwah uma bacihi rani kita uma bacihi kita sini dia mau sini dengan kan di dong jiwa uma bacihi di dong tu sini jiwa jadi ngazo tidak kata uma ranji bama tapi dua ini jiwa uma ranji pada masih jadi dua ini jiwa sama tu sama jiwa.
So today is a brief general explanation about Madhyamika. So coming class, then I'm going to start Svadantika Madhyamika. So then please read before in advance.
Tanda dengi jangan tu uma bahasa ada itu semua ini mesti boleh mana? Dia hak baca maksud apa? Niga uma bahasa ada, siapa niga uma ranti pada tanjung niga la cawa jibu uma bahasa ada, wah niga cawa, niga la cawa de, pada Demba Tuba, Anta Demba Tuba the Tawa. And the Tapita, Tanta saw that you've been taught is Laimba. You've been taught, Anta saw. You've been taught Karesna, Anta, you've been taught Karesna. They can't do Tawa. Demba Tuba, Chetan, Demba Tuba as a Dotawa. Roa, and you've been taught, yeah. So, then the Roa. As you should say, Tanta said you've been taught. Yes. Mentas, Chetas or the maybe taught. Maybe taught it, I eat the should say, Woody, that didn't want how much it was. Uma was the Tachi in Tani the Tower, I said, kill him. Tachi Tani the day, Tower kill him. Tachi in Tani the Tower, Giant Towers kill him. Tachi in Tani the day, Tower kill him. That the John Umaba, so they how much it was. Umaba said, Moni me Baba said, Captain Moni me Baba said, Maso Umaba, it just attended the Chiljaw. But Tanjo Koro, my Tanjo to tell me, Moni me Baba. 아우 단조 그런 내가 하시죠. 단조 그런 내가 하시죠. 단조 그런 룰을 내서지 당 원님에 봐서 와대. 내가 단조 내가 하시 것이래. 와, 단다디 공모가 지시. 지시라 원님에 봐 와서 와대. 네가 또지. 네가 또 원님에 봐 와서 되게 지시 거야.
Yeah, so this middle way, middle way of proponents of this definition. Sorry. So these proponents of the middle way, proponents of middle way or the proponents of non-entityness in general, then it pervades the Svatantika Madhyamaka and the Sankhika Madhyamaka as well. So they are who assert the view that is free of two extremes, the extremes of permanence and the extremes of nihilism. So extremes of permanence is also called extremes of existence. So it's the one that superimposes all phenomena as fully existence. And extremes of nihilism is also called extremes of non-existence. Is the one that denigrates or that denies an existence as non-existence. So proponents of middle way or proponents of non-entityness in general, then it refers to these two Prasankhika, Svatantika Madhyamaka and Sankhika Madhyamaka, right? So, however, if you see such terms as non-entityness in the context of Prasankhika Madhyamaka, then it refers specifically to the view of Prasankhika Madhyamaka.
Oh, yeah,
Ishila, what is the meaning of non-entityness?
Yeah, so the meaning of so in here the meaning of non-entityness means lack of entityness of truly establishment. Yeah, lack of entityness of it is called entitylessness, right? Yeah, so entitylessness. So this entitylessness means it lacks the entityness of truly establishment.
One quotation, please. Certain Nagarjuna teach both Sautrantika Madhyamaka and Prasankhika Madhyamaka, or Sautrantika Madhyamaka comes only after Sankarakshita mentioned it.
So, sorry, Mr. Kwak, could you please repeat?
Nagarjuna teach Sautrantika Madhyamaka as well as Prasankhika Madhyamaka, or Sautrantika Madhyamaka comes only when Sankarakshita mentioned it. I mean, the Nagarjuna teach both of them in text. That's my reply.
So Nagarjuna speaks of Svatantika Madhyamaka and
as well
Sankhika Madhyamaka.
Both comes from him or Santal or Savantuka. Savantuka comes after when Chantarakshita comes around.
그래서 이라이니티 우마랑기 바당 우마 팅요와이나 데니가 디 공부루루기 수 제발 이나스 양나 우마랑기 바데 샨다라시타예 시와초기 수 제바이나스 제라 시네디 시와초기 디수 제바리스 에나디 사바주리스
또 우마랑지방 가서 힌스 단지 로벨레 딘지레스 시자인바 로벨레 딘지 무슨 공부루루기 막 공부하다 되고
우마랑기 바이나 데 레딘제
레딘지 우마랑지 힌스 지금 레딘지레스
자니티 공부루루에는 니가 디 송바르 우마랑기 바당 우마 팅요가 니가 되로 송요나
공부루루기 우마바마 힌스 또 시레스 전두와들 한테 저게 요마 공부루루기 공부루루기 우마비 힌스 또 시와레스 우마랑지 비소치에 단지 소치 비키셔 요마 대표자들 가다 이슈자이만 공부루루기 제스 진주도 소고마 공부루루기 마 공부하다 찌우디 단주기 제 노당지다 아직은 노당지 니카와레스 그래서 이미 쉬마
So Nagarjuna is the one who revived the systems of Madhyamaka. So Nagarjuna is not the one who say that or who revives the system of Svadantika Madhyamaka and Prasangika Madhyamaka. So there is no such terms explained or founded by Nagarjuna. So it's after Nagarjuna, those followers of Nagarjuna, then based on the intentions of Nagarjuna, then they compose commentaries. Then only they come up with the terms Svadantika Madhyamaka and Prasangika Madhyamaka. And the one who revived Svadantika Madhyamaka, the systems of Svadantika Madhyamaka is Bhava Viveka.
그러고 탄주와 레베스나 탄주와 레스라고 니나 그러면 란지바 탄주와지마 수수마들이 대번 지금 그래도 공부를 두고 순자죠 뭐 공부 되는 하다 공부 되게도 산지자다 다와다바 레디지 그런저마 공부 되게 때 란지비 따와서 단지 따와서 때 란게 진지 두마도 이년가라 이년가라 수수마든다 대바도 정말 예스라고 그래서 공부를 두고 란지가 따와 이게 탄주와서 비켜서기 오마
Yeah. So in general, if we say the ultimate view of Nagarjuna is it belongs to which divisions, then it is Prasangika Madhyamaka. However, Nagarjuna did not talk about terms such as Svadantika Madhyamaka or Prasangika Madhyamaka. So it is only after Nagarjuna, then those followers such as Bhava Viveka, Chandrakirti, Buddhapalita, when they composed commentaries based on the intentions of Nagarjuna, and only then these terms Svadantika Madhyamaka and Prasangika Madhyamaka came into the picture.
Oh yeah, thank you
very much.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
하나도 그 이제 완전히 지tem 바지버는 도와줘. 무슨 생각 좀 주고 주고 되게 좀 마사지 거는 이제 좀 받아 그 이제 이번에 또 이제 받아. 완전히 라바까지 아니 너무 제적이 너무 서거라 뭐 무슨 뭐 요새 때마다 우리 요 시티면에도 그냥 가지고 이치 사무실이 요하다. 예. 나 근데 만두다 니아라서 받게다 봐. 니도 그 전에들 봐. 시비요. 예, 그 무슨 말이야.
We conclude with dedication. We dedicate the roots of virtue accumulated, especially through these Dharma lessons, may be the complete cause for Buddha Dharma to flourish and for all sentient beings to experience happiness. And we also dedicate these roots of virtue to all upholders of Buddha's teachings, mainly His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to live eons long with excellent health, and may their enlightened activities and holy wishes be accomplished instantaneously and be spread in all directions. In particular, we dedicate these roots of virtue to our beloved, extremely kind teacher, Geshe Lama Zopa Rinpoche. May Rinpoche's holy wishes be accomplished instantaneously, and may the unmistaken reincarnations of Rinpoche be swiftly returned and continue to turn the wheel of Dharma for the sake of teachings and sentient beings, so that we will have the opportunity to receive Dharma teachings from you again, Rinpoche, just like before. We also dedicate these roots of virtue to the world peace, and may excellent happiness prevail the world. May wars, conflict, disaster be pacified immediately. We also dedicate for all sentient beings, especially those who suffer and those who pass away, and those who help others. So may their negativities be pacified immediately, and may they achieve excellent happiness and quickly achieve the state of enlightenment.